Hi, welcome back to the Psychological First Aid series, and today we're going to be discussing when and why to use PFA. So people often think that PFA is used only after an extreme traumatic event, but that's not really true. It can also be used in everyday crisis. So let's take, for example, someone around you is experiencing emotional distress or is having a panic attack. Someone's been in an accident, or there is a loss of a loved one. A colleague or a friend has received some life-altering news that has shaken them to their core, and they really feel that their entire life is falling apart. Well, that's when you can use PFA as well, because when a person is in a situation like this and they feel unseen or unheard, it can really cause them a lot of pain both in body and mind, and if that's not really addressed soon enough, that can really have a life-altering impact. They can experience anxiety or a kind of numbness that doesn't really go away that easily. So it's always important that everyone knows what exactly psychological first aid is and how to provide psychological first aid. Now when you talk about PFA is usually given in the aftermath of such traumatic events or crisis, but it is also sometimes given days, weeks, or even months and years after such a traumatic event has already taken place, because sometimes memories related to such events can trigger reactions months and years later too, after that event has already taken place. Now let's talk about when such events take place, such traumatic events, and when people are in crisis like this. Like, let's take for example, someone's having a panic attack or someone's just been in an accident. After they've received some kind of physical help and they're taken care of physically, a mental health professional like a psychologist or counselor is not always readily accessible, and hence this is where we should be knowing psychological first aid and how to provide it, so we can at least make the person experiencing or undergoing this distress feel safe and secure and grounded. And then we can go to the next very important aspect of psychological first aid, or one of the most important aspects of psychological first aid, which is linking, which is after we have provided them with PFA and help them feel safe, heard, grounded, we can then forward them to a mental health professional like a psychologist, where they can actually go ahead and receive psychological help or professional help. So in the next episode or the next video of this PFA series, I'm going to try busting some myths around PFA, so stay tuned.